The food we eat doesn't just nourish our bodies, it rewires how our gut talks to our brain. Beneath the surface of our digestive tract lies a sophisticated network of sensory cells, microbes, and neural circuits that constantly interpret what we consume and translate it into electrical signals, emotional states, and behavioral urges. At the heart of this system are neuropods, specialized cells in the gut lining that detect nutrients and microbial metabolites and pass that information directly to the brain via rapid neural transmission, often through the vagus nerve. What's emerging from recent research is that diet plays a central role in shaping this gut-brain dialogue, both by altering the microbial populations that produce key signaling molecules and by influencing how neuropods respond to these cues. One of the most powerful modulators of the system is dietary fiber, particularly the types that feed beneficial microbes in the colon. When we eat fermentable fibers, found in foods like legumes, oats, artichokes, and leafy greens, these compounds reach the large intestine largely undigested, where they become food for a variety of microbial species. In turn, these microbes produce short-chain fatty acids, SCFAs, like butyrate, propionate, and acetate, which play crucial roles in reducing inflammation, maintaining gut barrier integrity, and even modulating neurotransmitter production. SCFAs can activate receptors on neuropods and other enteroendocrine cells, influencing satiety signals and the release of hormones like GLP-1 and PYY, which tell the brain we're full. In this way, fiber-rich diets don't just improve digestion, they can shift the tone of gut-brain communication toward balance and satiety, reducing cravings and enhancing mood regulation. In contrast, diets high in saturated fats, refined sugars, and ultra-processed foods tend to reduce microbial diversity and increase populations of inflammatory or less beneficial microbes. This microbial imbalance, or dysbiosis, alters the chemical environment of the gut, reducing the availability of beneficial SCFAs and increasing the production of potentially harmful metabolites, such as lipopolysaccharides, LPS. These changes can dull the responsiveness of neuropods and may skew the gut's signaling toward overconsumption, low-grade inflammation, and even depressive symptoms. A gut regularly exposed to highly processed foods may lose sensitivity to normal satiety cues and begin to send distorted or muted signals to the brain, amplifying hunger, emotional eating, or anxiety. Fat, in particular, presents a dual-faced challenge. While some fats, like omega-3 fatty acids, have been shown to support anti-inflammatory signaling and microbial health, saturated fats in excess appear to impair vagus nerve sensitivity and increase gut permeability, allowing inflammatory molecules to leak into the bloodstream. This can provoke systemic inflammation, which not only affects brain regions tied to mood and motivation, but also disrupts the neural feedback between gut neuropods and the brainstem. Over time, this disconnect can contribute to the development of mood disorders, metabolic syndrome, or even neurodegenerative changes. Meanwhile, probiotics and fermented foods are showing promise as active tools in reshaping gut-brain communication. Certain bacterial strains, such as Lactobacillus plantarum, Bifidobacterium longum, and Lactobacillus rhamnosus, have been shown in both animal and human studies to influence emotional behavior, stress response, and cognitive function. These microbes can alter the metabolic output of the gut ecosystem, increasing beneficial neurotransmitter precursors and restoring neuropod responsiveness. What's especially interesting is that probiotics may not need to colonize permanently to be effective. They can act as metabolic messengers, temporarily shifting the microbial language that neuropods interpret and relay to the brain. Over time, consistent dietary choices can restructure the architecture of communication between gut and brain. A diet that supports microbial diversity, encourages beneficial fermentation, and minimizes inflammatory inputs helps create a gut environment where neuropods can function optimally, transmitting accurate, timely, and beneficial messages that help the brain regulate appetite, stress, and cognition. Conversely, a diet filled with low-fiber, high-fat, ultra-processed foods may lead to long-term changes in gut-brain signaling, including reduced satiety, emotional instability, and an increased risk of metabolic and psychiatric disorders. In this light, food is more than fuel or medicine. It's information, instructing the gut and the brain how to behave. The choices we make at each meal sculpt not just the microbial landscape, but also the sensitivity and accuracy of the sensors that link our intestines to our thoughts and feelings. With each bite, we either sharpen or dull that connection. And while this process is gradual, it's also reversible. By consistently choosing foods that support microbial health and neuropod activity, fiber-rich vegetables, fermented foods, polyphenol-packed fruits, and healthy fats, we can retune our internal wiring, fostering a more stable, intuitive, and resilient relationship between our gut and our mind.